Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon everyone. So we would like to present about our KNN Grabcast job in Klang Valley. Firstly, I would like to introduce my group members, which is Muhammad Aqil Adlan bin Johari, Eidlan Haris bin Sallehuddin, and me, Syaril bin Ahmad Helmi. So this dataset contains 444 instances and also 8 attributes with one target, which is status. We chose status as a target because we want to analyze the rate of order completion by Grab in Klang Valley. So for the data sampler, this is the set where we want to set data sampler to split the training data and testing data. First, we set data sampler to 70% and 80%, and also the last one 90%. For cross-validation, we have set cross-validation by using test and score widget to evaluating model performance score. So we set cross-validation to 5 and 10. Next, we move to classification accuracy, sensitivity, and specificity. So for 70% training data and cross-validation 5, we got classification accuracy and sensitivity is 0.970. For cross-validation 10, also same result, which is 0.970, while for the specificity for both cross-validation get 0.030. So for this 70% training data, uh, it is the best result compared to other training data, which is 80% and 90%. Next, for 80% training data and cross-validation 5, we got classification accuracy and sensitivity 0.932. For cross-validation 10, also same, which is 0.932. While for the specificity for both cross-validation, we get 0.068. And also for 90% training data and cross-validation 5, we got classification accuracy 0.932. For cross-validation 10, also 0.932. While for the specificity for both cross-validation, we got 0.068. So I will pass to my group members.
Okay, so next is I will present about the ROC curve. So the ROC curve for 70% training data with cross validation of 5. So it is stagnant from 0 until 0.04 for the x-axis. Then it increases consistently until 1.0. As for the ROC curve for 70% for cross validation 10, it stayed constant from 0 until 0.06 and then increased consistently until 0.23 and then it increased slightly slower after that point. So next is for the ROC curve for 80% with cross-validation 5. So firstly, it increased slowly until 0.38, then it increased more drastically from that point until 1.0. As for the ROC curve for 80% training data with cross-validation of 10, first it stayed constant from 0 until 0.24 and increased drastically and consistently until 1.0. So next is the ROC curve for 90% training data with cross-validation of 5. So it stayed consistent from 0 until 0.05 and then it increased consistently until 1.00. And lastly is the ROC curve for 90% with cross-validation 10. It stayed constant from 0 until 0.05 and then increased consistently until 1.00. So next I I pass on to my fellow group member.
Okay, now I will present about the information score we get in this assignment. Okay, so there are three information score which is represent the 70% training data, 80% and 90%. Okay, so there are two things that we will measure in the information score, which is info gain and the gain ratio. Okay, so for the information gain, it measures favors attributes with many values, and in the information gain, high gain means poor prediction, and for the gain ratio, is measure the alternative and penalize gain with split information. Okay, so and the first one, the attribute with the highest info gain and gain ratio was payment method with values of 0.0019 and 0.022 respectively. And for the 80% training data, the attribute with the highest info gain was locations with a value of 0.021, while the attribute with the highest gain ratio was first with a value of 0.015. And the 90% training data, the attribute with the highest info gain and gain ratio was locations method with values of 0.062 and 0.046. Okay, so we didn't have the other cross validation because it represents the same number. Okay, so for the confusion matrix also we do the sampling with three different training data, which is 70%, 80%, and 90%. For the algorithm managed to predict 132 true positive and 0 true negative while predicting 0 false positive and 1 false negative. And the next one is 87 true positive, 0 true negative, and 0 false positive and 1 false negative. The last one, 90% training data, the algorithm managed to predict 43 true positive, 0 true negative, 0 false positive, and 1 false negative. Okay, so that's all from us. Thank you.